Hi everyone, this is teacher Sandra. So this video I'll be covering this P6 2019 CA1 paper from ACS Junior. So section A and B consists of 17 questions. So this video I'll be covering those. Okay, so let's look at question 1. So this is an algebra question, simplify. So what I'll do is this. Now group all the A's together. 5A followed by 2 minus 2A. Then I'll go to the numbers. Minus 10 plus 15. So from here I'll be able to work out the A's. And I have minus 10 plus 15. Take note, it's a minus 10 plus 15. So we can actually swap it around. If it's confusing for you, you can do instead 5A minus 2A, you start with a positive number, plus 15 minus 10. So again, 5A minus 2A is 3A plus 15 minus 10, you're left with a plus 5. And that will be the answer. So over here, this one is as well, it's the same, plus 5. So the answer is 2. Next, angles. So angles on a straight line. XY is a straight line. So angles on a straight line make up 180 degrees. This is a 90 degrees label. So we're trying to find angle A. So this is simply 180. You take away all the other angles that you know. 42 degrees. 90 degrees. 38 degrees. Okay, so usually what I like to do is to add up all these and I'll subtract at one go. So I'll take 90, 38, 42, add everything up. Okay, so it's 180 minus 170. Okay, so then I know 180 minus 170 is 10. Answer is 1. Question 3. Ratio 4 is to 7 is equals to 32 is 2. So we can see 4. From 4, how do we get 32? 3 times 8, right? Because 4 times 8 is 32. So in the same set, we need to multiply by the same number. So this, from here, I also do a times 8. So 7 times 8 is 56. So that's the answer. Option 3. Option 4. Express 2 and 3/8 as a decimal. Now when we need to express a fraction as a decimal, we simply need to change the denominator to either 10, 100, or 1000. Now 8 times 125 is 1000. So what I need to do is basically change this. I change my denominator times 125. I also have to multiply the numerator. So I change my fraction. This becomes 2 something out of 1000. I need to work out what is 125 times 3. 15, 7, 3. So it's 375. So this will be equals to 2, because 2 wholes, you know, you will have a 2 point something. Out of 1000 means 3 decimal places. Fill in 375. So the answer is 2.375. Option 4. Next, question 5. Glenn bought a pizza. He ate 1/4 of the pizza and the remaining pizza was shared equally between his 2 friends. What fraction did each of his friends get? So I can use a model to illustrate this. So this is Glenn's pizza. He ate 1/4 of it, so I can cut it into 4 parts. He ate 1/4, 1 part. This was eaten. Okay, and the remaining, which is here, this 3 units, the 3/4 of the pizza, he shared equally between his two friends. So I'll have to divide this 3 by 2. So if I split it up, see, each of them gets 1.5 units, right? So if I cut this into half, every single unit I also go and split. I have to split everyone to make them all equal parts. Which means now, see, this 6 units is split between 2 friends, which means each friend received 3 units. So one friend, this is the second friend, first friend, second friend. So what fraction did each of his friends get? Each friend received 3 units, isn't it? So each friend received 3 out of the whole thing. Now in total you have 8 units. So each friend received 3/8 of it. Option 3. Next, question 6. Kelvin and Susie baked some cookies. We know the ratio is 3:7. Kelvin baked 60 fewer cookies than Susie. So write down your ratio. Kelvin is to Susie 3:7. And we know that Kelvin baked 60 fewer than Susie, meaning that is the difference, 60 fewer, between Kelvin and Susie. The difference between Kelvin and Susie is 60 cookies. So in terms of units, 7 units minus 3 units, the difference in units between the two of them is 4. So this tells us that 4 units is 60 cookies. Okay, so then 1 unit will be 60 divided by 4. If you work it out, it's 15. So how many cookies did they bake all together? We need to find both of them all together. So it's 3 units plus 7 units, which is 10 units. So you can take 15 times 10, that gives you 150. So the answer is option 3. Next, question 7. Alex and Brian have some toy soldiers. Brian had 30% of the toy soldiers. Now, if Brian has 30% of the toy soldiers, means Alex has how many percent? The total will make up 100%. So which means Alex will make up the remaining 70%, because both of them were sharing the toy soldiers. So Alex is 84, meaning 70% is 84. So we want to find Brian. Brian is 30%. So in order to find Brian, we first need to find out what's 10%. So if 70% is 84, 10%, from 70, how do I get 10? I divide by 7, right? So what I do to the left side, I will do to the right side as well. So over here, I will take 84 divided by 7, I get 12. So 10% is 12. So in order to find 30%, I will take, okay, from 10%, how do I get 30%? I times 3. So what I do to the left, I do to the right as well. I'm going to times 3. So I'll take the 10%, which is 12, multiply by 3 to get 30%. The answer is 36 for Brian. Option 3. Okay, now we move on to section B. What is the value of 5n plus 13 out of 4 when n is equals to 11? So this is substitution. We just need to substitute n with 11. So 5n plus 13 out of 4, 5 times 11. Basically 5n means 5 times 11. So 5 times 11 is 55. Plus 13, whole thing out of 4. So I'll work out the top. The numerator will be 68 out of 4. And from here you do your long division. 68 divided by 4. It's 17. So that is your answer. 17. Next, angles again. ABCD is a trapezium. CBE is 50 degrees. CBE. Let's check. CBE is 50 degrees, alright. And DEB is 112 degrees. We're supposed to find BCE, this one. So take note, this is a trapezium. Trapezium means you have parallel lines. You have one pair of parallel lines, which is here. So how can we solve this? There are multiple ways to solve this. So what we can do perhaps, over here, let's find out what's angle BEC. Angle BEC, you see, angles on the straight line here. I want to find this angle. Angles on the straight line make up 180 degrees. So they add up to 180 degrees. This is 112, means angle BEC, this part, will be 180 degrees minus 112 degrees, which is 68 degrees. So this is 68. So once I have this, do you see we have a triangle here? So angles in a triangle make up 180 degrees. So which means this plus this plus this will be 180. So now in order to find angle BCE, we will take 180, minus away 50, and we take away 68. Right? So let's do our working. 68 plus 50, 118. So 180 minus 118, 62 degrees. And that will be our answer. Oops, it's already given. Okay. Question 10. Sally spends 1/3 of her weekly allowance on lunch and 3/4 of the remainder on books. She has $8 left. What's her weekly allowance? Now, first thing, when we look at fractions question, we must always check if the fractions are referring to the same whole. Now, how do we see? This one says 1/3 of what? Of her allowance. This 3/4 of the remainder. Now, these two fractions are not referring to the same whole. This whole, 3 out of 3 here, refers to her entire allowance. Over here, the 4 out of 4 refers to the remainder, which is a smaller whole. So if the two fractions are not referring to the same whole, we cannot change to the same denominator. Okay, so we cannot go and conveniently 3 and 4 go and change to the lowest common multiple, which is 12. No, we can't do that. So if we can't, what do? Sally spends 1/3 of her weekly allowance. I will draw the whole first. So now this is Sally's allowance, a whole thing, and they're talking about it as 3 out of 3. So I draw 3 parts. So out of the 3 parts, she spends 1 part on lunch. Okay, so this is lunch. Now, the remainder. They say that she spent 3/4 of the remainder on books. They want the remainder, which is this part, to be 4. Okay, so I have 2 units here. Can I split 2 equally into 4? I can, right? I basically split this into half and this into half, and my remainder now becomes 4 units, which is what they want. So out of which 3 of the remainder she spent on books. So okay, so this 1, 2, and 3, this part, spent on books. Now, do not forget, just now remember I split this and I split this, right? Please remember to split this as well. Every single unit needs to be equal. Okay, she has $8 left. This is the leftover. Left. And that's $8. So now this tells us that 1 unit is $8. So we want to find her weekly allowance. Her weekly allowance will be the whole thing, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. So 6 units will be $8 times 6, which gives us $48. And that is the answer. Question 11. Find the value of 72 plus 8 times 4 minus 20 divided by 5. Order of operations. Right? Order of operations. Now let's start. Which should we do first? See, I have plus, times, minus, divide. Now I will need to do the times first. Times and divide, I'll do them from left to right, whichever comes first. So I see times first, so I'm going to work this out. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to rewrite the whole equation. So 72 plus, so I'm going to work this out. 8 times 4 is 32. Continue, minus 20 divided by 5. Let's go on. Next, I have plus, minus, and divide. Okay, so I need to do the divide next, okay? Let's underline. Everything else I'm going to copy down. 72 plus 32 minus 4. Right, so now my equation, I have plus and minus. So plus and minus I have to do from left to right, whichever comes first. So let's work this first. 72 plus 32 is 100. And 4 minus 4. So my answer will be 100. Question 12. In the figure below, ABCD is a rectangle. DF is equals to FE is equals to EC. Important information. DF is equals to FE is equals to EC. So these three parts are the same. And we're supposed to find the shaded area, which is this triangle here. Now, it tells us that AB is 33, right? So which means DC is also 33 because this is a rectangle. So this is the length and this is the length, also 33. The question tells us that this part, DF, is equals to FE and is equals to EC, which means we have three equal lengths here. We can take 33 divided by 3, we get 11 to get one of each. So this is 11, this is 11, this is 11. So each of these 11. So in order to find the area of this shaded triangle, triangle BFE, area of triangle is what? Half times base times height. Now half times the base is here, FE, which is 11, times the height is here, which is 18. Okay, so I can actually do cross cancellation. This becomes 9, this becomes 1, so the answer is 99. Angles again. ABCD is a rhombus. ABCD is a rhombus. Now what's a rhombus? We have two pairs of parallel lines. Over here parallel, over here parallel as well. And not just that, rhombus means all four sides have the same length. Okay, so angle ADC is 48 degrees over here. Angle CBX is 18. CBX here. This is 18. Okay. So we're trying to find what is angle BXA. BXA. So this is what we need to find. Okay. So let's see how we can solve this. Let's see what are the angles we can find. Now, if this is 48 degrees, the opposite angles will be equal. If this is 48, over here, angle ABC is also 48 degrees. Here. Okay? If this is also 48 degrees, and we know that this is 18, we can find what is angle ABX. So angle ABX will be 48 minus 18, which is 30 degrees. So this portion here is 30 degrees. Now, I'm trying to find this angle, right? So do we see a triangle here? Right? So in order to find this, I have this. I will need this. Angle BAX. Okay, let's find angle BAX. Now back to the rhombus. And see, because this is a rhombus, if it's split into half, we have two identical isosceles triangles. You see an isosceles triangle here? This is the same length as this. So if I know that this is 48 degrees, and this is part of the isosceles triangle, I can find out this. Okay, so angle BAX is equals to 180 degrees minus 48 degrees, and the whole thing divided by 2. So this gives me 132 degrees divided by 2, which is 66 degrees. So this is 66 degrees. So with that, I can actually solve for angle BXA because I have a triangle here. Angles in a triangle make up 180 degrees. So 180 degrees Okay, next. BXA 180 degrees minus 66 minus 30. So this is 96. I'll work this out first. So I have 180 degrees minus 96 degrees. 17, 9, 84. So angle BXA, 84 degrees. So that's the answer. Question 14. 2/5 of Henry's mass is equals to 3/4 of Ian's mass. Now this sentence, a fraction of something or somebody is equal to, is the same as fraction of somebody else. This one is the equal fractions concept. Equal fractions. So what do we do for equal fractions? For Henry and Ian, Henry, they talk about it as being 2/5, and that part is equals to 3/4 of Ian. For equal fractions, I will make the numerator the same. Okay, numerator the same. So 2 and 3, I'm going to have to change them to 6. So I times 3 times 2, change to 6. What I do to the top, I need to do to the bottom. I times 2, this one I times 3, this time I times 3. Okay, so now I change the fractions to 6 out of 15. This is 6 out of 8. So after the numerator is the same, I will ignore it. Now the denominator tells us the units, meaning H is to I, Henry is 15 units and Ian is 8 units. Now they ask us to express Henry's mass as a fraction of the total mass of the both boys. Now a lot of you get confused. You don't know what number to put as the numerator and what as the denominator. Remember this, of whatever they want it of blah 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 blah. In this case, of the total mass of the both boys, of whatever here, this will be your denominator. Okay, so in this case, meaning they want the Henry to be numerator, denominator will be the total. Alright, so Henry is 15, total is 15 plus 8, which is 23. And that will be your fraction. That's the answer. 15 out of 23. Okay, question 15. Axel, Brandon, Carl saved the money in the ratio 3:5:7. Now, I always like to write down the information. So let's write it down. A is to B is to C in the ratio 3:5:7. Okay. The difference between the largest amount and the smallest amount is 52, and we want to find the amount that Brandon saved. Now, the largest amount is 7 units. Smallest amount, 3 units. Okay, so 7 minus 3 is 4 units. They tell us that the amount is $52. So 4 units is $52. So from here we can find out what's 1 unit. 52 divided by 4 is $13. Amount that Brandon saved, Brandon is 5 units. So let's go and find 5 units. 13 times 5, this is 65. That's the answer. 16. A factory produces 320 soft toys. 60% of them are teddy bears and 25% of the teddy bears are pink. And we're trying to find the number of pink teddy bears. Please take note. 60% of them are teddy bears. Of them. Them refers to the soft toys. 25% of the teddy bears. So the two percentages, they are talking about different things. So let's try to understand this. This is the whole thing. The factory produces 320 toys. 60% of them, of the soft toys, are teddy bears. So 60% here, they make up the teddy bears. Which means 40% here, they're not teddy bears, something else. 25% of the teddy bears. Now they have changed your 100%. Now they are referring to the whole teddy bears, all the teddy bears as 100%. So the teddy bears now here becomes the new 100%. And 25% of these, the teddy bears, are pink. So they're pink. So which means the remaining 75% are not pink. So we need to find how many pink teddy bears does the factory produce. So let's find out the number of teddy bears first. Okay, so we know that 100% is 320. So 100% is 320. I can go and find 10%. I will take 320 divided by 10. I get 32. This is 10%. Teddy bears make up 60%. So I'll find 60%, which is 32 times 6, which is 6192. So this part here is 192. Okay, so total teddy bears 192. So the total teddy bears 192. We are trying to find the number of pink teddy bears, which is 25% of the teddy bears. Okay, so 25% of the teddy bears, there are two ways we can do this. We can straight away, because 25% of the teddy bears are pink, correct? So you can take 25% of its times the teddy bear. The teddy bear is 192. So you can do this to work out the answer. Or you can say that 100% of the teddy bears is 192. Then you want to find 25%, which is pink. Now from 100, how do I get 25? I divide by 4. Okay, so what I do to the left, I can do to the right as well. So I will take 192 divided by 4. I'll get my answer as well. So 192 divided by 4. 4, 4, 16, 8. 48. Okay, so if you actually go and work this out, the answer will be 48. So 48 pink teddy bears. So question 17 is an algebra question. I'm going to start writing down the information that we have. So we know that Mrs. Sun baked 3W cupcakes in the morning. I'm going to write it down. Morning 3W cupcakes. And in the afternoon, she baked 3W plus 8. So altogether, she baked 80 cupcakes that day. So all of these make up to 80. So this tells us that 3W plus 3W plus 8, morning plus afternoon, everything is 80 cupcakes. So if I add up the W's, this is 6W plus 8, this is 80. Okay, so then 6W is equals to 80 minus 8, which will be 72. So 6W is equals to 80 minus 8, which is 72. So W would be 72 divided by 6, which is 12. So the question wants us to find how many cupcakes did she bake in the morning. Morning will be over here, 3W. So just find 3W, which is 12 times 3. The answer is 36. Okay, so let me just highlight one portion here. This part. 6W plus 8 is equals to 80. From here, how did I know that 6W is equals to 80 minus 8? If I were to actually draw it out, 6 units of W. So I have W, 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 6W, and 8. And they're equal to the same, equals to 18. So how do I find out what W is? Or rather 6W is? In order to find out my 6W, I'll have to take out 80, take away 8. I know that it's 72. So that's how I get this. So this is the end of section A and B. The next video will continue with your section C.